good way to get started.
Yeah, I mean, get stretched a little bit. I asked for another inning. I hate the 1-2 inning outings. It feels like you're not getting anything accomplished. So getting the third inning was nice to be able to get back out after getting a little bit tired in the second and feel like I could settle back in and get a little bit of stuff worked on. But overall, pretty encouraging.
What do you look for at this point in the spring? Is there anything, even with hitters' reactions or anything like that?
Each year I get older, it's making sure that everything's not broken, or at least it's not. You come back, you're not throwing 84, and oh no, this is the end. Is really the first checkpoint, and then after that, it's do I feel comfortable in my delivery? Do I feel like I'm pacing things well? Am I mentally sharp? And then after that, it's really kind of pitches. Can I make pitches when I need to? Do I feel sharp? Do I feel like I can execute? And then slowly building from there is making sure you get the innings and the reps in that just get you closer to the season.
Does this spring feel different just because of what you experienced last year?
No, actually, now it feels the same. It's just spring is always kind of spring. It just has a certain feel and a cadence to it that's pretty boring, and you get used to it. You kind of fall into that here where you're just back to it, and then you just settle into your 5-day rhythm and go back to work.
And then have you grown comfortable with the new surroundings, new teammates,
Yeah, I mean, there's some people in there that I've known, some people I've known for years, so that makes it certainly a lot easier. But the rest, everybody else is super professional. Everybody's helpful. The young kids don't act like young kids at all. Everybody is just on top of the things they need to do. So it's a quiet, button-down professional camp, but it's super easy for them.
Coming from a place with so many veterans in the rotation to here, do you feel an increased sense of responsibility?
No, I don't think so. I mean, that maybe as the season went on, that would be the case if guys had questions. But otherwise, I don't take too much into that. I know that I'm older and have been around for a while, but a lot of these guys have played with other older guys. They're not completely new to everything, and most of them have good heads on their shoulders that they know what they're doing anyway. So for me, it's just sticking to my routine and going about it, and then just being available if anybody has anything they need from me.
You said you don't want to be, have that major drop in velocity. To see 92 out there, that's going to be encouraging. It seems to be right where you were last year.
Yeah, that's where I didn't see where it was, but otherwise, as long as it's not I haven't hit the cliff, then that's good news.
How about, how important was that to start pitching in September last year, or be pitching in September, and then also be available there in the World Series? Is that why this spring training doesn't feel any different, really, because you were pretty confident?
Maybe a little bit, but I've had weird years before. I've had years where I've missed a big chunk or missed the end, and then it's just, as long as I can get settled into my routine, and there's peace in my routine, which is one thing I've always preached, that day one always feels like day one. That makes everything just flows in, and then game day should feel like game day. And so it doesn't feel like anything's new, like I've taken years off. It just feels like I've settled back in. So whether I miss 6 or 8 months or whether I just miss a week, I can settle back in, and it all just kind of feels normal again.
How about working with Tyler and Zook? I mean, does that take a little bit of time, and how important are these games for that?
No, that's not. It took about 4 pitches, and Zook I threw with for years in Oakland. I mean, Tyler has asked me the questions. He knows that you catch one bullpen, you kind of get an idea. And for me, I'm not a guy who shakes much. I trust them, so there's not even much for me to get used to. It's just simply trust these guys. They know what they're doing. Just execute whatever they put down.
Do you feel like you kind of got everything you needed to in today? I mean, you had a couple perfect innings, and then that second had to hit the wall.
At least getting some work out of the stretch was good, because that's always like the first little point where you're getting runners on and remembering that rhythm and how that goes in games. So that was good. And had a couple pitches that weren't sharp there, got a little rushy out of there. So it was good to recognize that, and then I know this week that all right, that's a focus. Let's get back to work on that, and should pick that up for the game next week.
What are your general early impressions of the young talent here?
Some really, really, really good arms. I tried to stay back, watch some bullpens, watch some of their live VPs, and I knew some of the names just by just kind of like pay attention to some scouting things and watch guys. And so I remember seeing guys in high school and college, and seeing them up close is very impressive. But there just seems to be a long wave of just guys that all have really good stuff, and that goes down to the bullpen to the young starters. So it's fascinating for me, being old, knowing that I'm going to be out and these guys are going to be here in a couple of years, that what the long term is going to look like here, because they're very some of them look just really advanced for their age.
Who's really caught your eye?
Soraka, I think, is the one. It's just I watched the bullpen and it didn't look like 20-year-old throwing a bullpen, and this isn't to knock any of the other guys I haven't watched as close, but it was well commanded. Everything was just where he wanted to be. He had a routine, he had it set. Watching him in the weight room, he looks like a guy that is a big league rotation guy that just has it together, knows what he's doing. And his bullpen, it just looked almost like I was watching a Matt Cain bullpen, where it was he just knew what he was doing, and attacked, and it was pretty impressive for just being a simple bullpen.